I'm thinking that tomorrow's going to be up. I think the reaction was overdone for Tesla and overdone for the market in terms of the fact that we're going to have the cuts. Because one, um, according to the implied um, expectations, based on the bond trading, all that kind of stuff, they were saying, okay, we're gonna get the December cut, and then we're gonna skip January, and then based upon what happens in the Trump administration, then we'll see,
Yeah.
right? Which is basically what's happened, right? And the fact that they went from, four cuts down to two at the beginning of this year, 2024,
Yes, yes,
they were saying we have six cuts,
yes. Yeah.
seven cuts, and then we ended up with nothing until recently when we got the equivalent of four, right? We got like 1% down, right? So we ended up with two short this year, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So I would say Jerome Powell and the Fed don't know what they're doing, and, and they can't predict worth a damn.
Right.
So the fact that they're now shifting here is I am a clearly better predictor than they are.
Yeah,
Right.
right.
So because I have, like beside the predicting Tesla stock price, people don't know I make thousands of public predictions on sites like Metaculus and Manifold and all that kind of stuff. And my track record, like 98%, over 90% on those things. So the even I do not know what's going to happen in the 100 days, first 100 days of the Trump presidency. I do not. I have expectations about a bunch of things that can happen, but exactly how it plays out, no clue. And exactly how it plays out will impact what's going to happen with growth, with interest rates, like how much of the cutting do we get?
Right.
I expect a lot to happen, but there will be pushback, court fights,
Right.
and it could start things could start delaying quite badly, right? Or people could start working with the program and making stuff happen. But I expect it to be good. I expect, a lot to get done in the 2 year period of the first before the midterms, and a lot to happen the first 100 days, right? But in terms of like, if I was to say, and I'm gonna start cutting into that, rate cuts, it's like they're that cautious. They have to wait for data. So there's, I was not expecting cuts to be happening in the first 4 months, during the
Anyway,
first 100 days, right? Because they would have no idea what was going on. Because there's so much um,
change.
monumental
Yeah.
first change things possible
Right.
that the maximum versus minimum of what's going on, they don't know. So 4 months of no cuts, makes sense. We're gonna wait and see what happens, and then the job thing is looking fragile and weak. The numbers aren't good. So it's kind of like, in terms of like actually knowing what's going on so you can confidently cut is anyway. So I wasn't expecting it, so I'm not surprised. But in terms of the market, I think it's overdone. They'll go back to, okay, we've got the one cut, the one we expected, and now we have uncertainty. Like the market doesn't like uncertainty. Well, we're going to have 4 months of uncertainty, right? It could start revealing itself to be really good, but
Right.
we don't know.
Right. So I was thinking that potentially, and maybe you could respond to this, is that the if this bill passed, and again, this is Saturday when we're showing this, and Thursday we don't know if it passed or not. If the bill passes, it would be the first evidence that Doge does have power. And if Doge has power, that should give confidence to the markets that Doge can go in there and get some of these cuts done. If the cuts get done, then we reduce the amount of the deficit. If we reduce the amount of the deficit, the bond market should love that, and that should give the Fed the room to be able to make the cuts that they should make in order to get to neutral.
Right, right. So my expectation, again, caveats, we don't totally know, but my prediction is that the Republicans who are wavering are weak. They are not someone who's doing it on principle, who is saying, okay, I want to do this thing on principle. They're doing it based upon, you know, fundraising for their next election. So my view of them, I do not hold them in high regard. Thus, when Elon Musk and the people, the 80 million voters who call them up and say, hey, do this or we'll primary you, all that kind of stuff, when that pressure, maximum pressure is applied, I expect them to cave. I expect them to cave because they're being fully identified, the transparency of who they are. No one's threatening their lives, but they're just saying, hey,
yes,
money will go against you. We will work against you. If you don't like this job, then go do what you want. Right. But, we're going to put pressure upon you to go with the program.
Right.
Yeah. So I expect they will go with the program.
Okay. If you happen to be a big fan of the Cybertruck, you might also be interested in this super fun Cybertruck refrigerator magnet and bottle opener. It is made out of super thick stainless steel, just like the Cybertruck, and it has this giant magnet on the back, so it's going to hold a lot of stuff on your refrigerator. It's an amazing gift, and it comes in that great gift box that you saw before that uses a magnet opener, just almost like an Apple box, like when you get Apple products. You can buy it on Amazon for $29.95, or you can buy it direct from me by sending $25 to paypal.me/Randy Kirk, all in lowercase letters. Please indicate whether you want the stainless steel look or maybe you'd like to have this very clever camo version. And then if you're not in the US, please add $20 for freight. If you'd like more than one, please check the information below to get pricing, as well as all that information I just told you will be repeated in the information below. So once again, think about joining the channel, getting the up-to-date Tesla news every single day. I think you'll be glad you did.